All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for September 28th, 2023. We'll start with the hybrid swing trading portfolio. That's 30-minute charts, starting with Alcoa. And this morning took a Kata 2 entry near the opening with a standard risk. At 2R Battle Drill, added a second position. This thing closed very well. So we're holding 4R on the first position, 2R on the second position. So we have a total of about 6R in two positions. This is at a crucial price level here. What was once resistance, or what was once support, is now resistance. So cup and handle people would see that as if this breaks north, then the next price level that we would expect is 30. If this starts to fail, I will take the exit at the PSAR to make gains on those two positions. But if it breaks north of 28.20, I'll be looking to add a third position intraday. And if it breaks above 30, look out above. Really nice situation. AI, the software company, we took a Kata 2 about 90 minutes into the day. It kept moving up. Standard risk closed at about a 0.5 gain. It's above the resistance. The next target level is up here at 26. That we can start thinking about adding a second position above the 5-day high. Amazon. I exited the trade yesterday. We took the speculative SSC based on the fact that we had earned 5R and it looked like it was trying to reverse. So I used one of those to risk that one, and it gapped down and took a 1R loss. Didn't re-enter, so minus 1R on Amazon. But I kind of like the fact that it didn't fail further today. This feels like stronger support. So any break above today's high, I'll get long again. But I don't want to take the overnight risk. Caterpillar. This was a Kata 2 entry because it had a higher low. But this is above, it's an emerging dragon because it is above this peak and above that peak. So it's cleared all of this. Now the next support level is closing of the gap to here and the top of the dragon to here. So this has passed the test, except in the last half hour it dropped back to here. So I'll be looking to preserve that win tomorrow. But if it breaks out above 278, I will add a position. So that's my uncertainty risk box right in there. Cliff, this was, this one was kind of caught me leaning. So yesterday's Kata 2 closed here. It opened here and started to sell off. So I took the exit at the edge of the dragon to lock in this little gain of about +1. But then it reversed and then took out that high. So I re-entered here, the same standard risk, and then that closed really well. My stop is now at the PSAR dot. I'll add a position if it takes out the 5-day high. It's important to note that is the 5 and 10-day high, and then this is the price level for the 30-day high. So if it breaks above 1560, look out above. That's really poised to do well. CVS, no trade. I like the consolidation. Dish initiated a supported spring crossing. It closed well. We're holding 2R. Devon Energy closed the emerging dragon from yesterday with about 3R, and then it did nothing but just kind of go sideways, so no overnight risk. Electronic Arts took the intraday SSC for about 2R, and it couldn't break north of the 5-day high, so as it came back to the edge, this is a perfect example of that dragon exit. So we got the nice move up and it's testing and then just consolidating. And then the dragon acts right here, and then I take it at the edge of the dragon. You can think of that as almost like an accelerated PSAR, because the PSAR exit for that one was right here. But from a money management perspective, I already had 2.5R in hand, and it was showing signs of not gaining, and it was stalling right where you would expect to stall, and I didn't want to suffer that kind of a give back, so better to collect the 3R and call it a day. That's a typical action in the early stages of a trade. This is emerging markets. So a couple days ago, we took the gap and fail, and it's just been monkeyed around sideways. Today, it did not fail further and started to reverse. When it came through the PSAR and the dragon, I just decided to cash about 2R on it and just be done with it. Was hoping for failure, and it didn't happen. And this feels like a natural turning point in the market. Now, I missed this one in Ethereum, but this was a gap up. Oh, no, I didn't miss it. I'm sorry. I thought I had that. Yeah. So here's where it PSAR flipped, and I waited for the emerging dragon, took it with a standard risk, and that went running straight up. And then when it rolled over, it had moved a full risk box off the top. So I just decided to collect +3 and call it a day. It came all the way back to the PSAR where it stabilized. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is be ready, put a nice tight risk box, treat that as a zero state, and then ready to trade hard in either direction. Mexico took the SSC for an R. It just didn't follow through. Brazil took the SSC. This one showed more strength, so that's holding about 2R. So right now, Brazil is a little better than Mexico. That's Mexico. That's Brazil. Brazil is slightly better. And I only wanted to hold one of those over the night. This is Intel. So I tried the SSC yesterday, and it failed. I tried it on the in the afternoon at 1, 2, 3. This one worked in our favor, and I took about a 2R gain at the dragon exit routine. International paper covered the long for a fractional win. Real estate initiated an SSC. KRE took a half an R, just didn't follow through. Mattel, no trade. McDonald's initiated the SSC. I'm liking that one. So this has had a really long, sustained sell-off on a really important symbol. And the fact that we got this one here and it didn't fail, this is now starting to feel like bottoming action and support, and this might have been the turning point. So we have a couple R in hand, and if this continues, I'm looking to see it eventually get up to the 5-day high. I'd be happy with that. Merck, no trade. Microsoft initiated the SSC. You can see that the cup and handle the cup is starting to form. Here's the support. It's had one nice day of recovery. So this is, a third of the way up the stack to close that sell-off. So I'm still looking for those 2 units of reward. And we got about an R in hand on that one. Marijuana, no trade. Nvidia took the SSC yesterday. I'm sorry, the Kata 2 yesterday. We got that series of rising highs and the PSAR flip. So we took that yesterday. It closed well, and then today it just continued that move. Um, if I were to do that again, I think I should have taken this exit or that exit. As it is, we're holding about 2R overnight, and this does feel like a Kata 2 and keeps going. So I like that company, so I was willing to take that risk. I don't know that was necessary though. Rethinking that one. Clean energy, no trade. Rivian, uh, no trade. We covered the long. The S&P had a good strong day up to offset this long slide, so that was day one of recovery. Treasuries also one day of recovery. Tesla initiated the SSC, and U.S. Steel took an emerging dragon for about half an hour. So I was pretty pleased with today's work. This feels like the first day after a intermediate term bottom is put in. So I'm looking for buy on dip opportunities should continue to come to the front. Here's the intraday sniper trade of the day. This was a gap up. Here's your OR3. Second bar it broke out, so we're long. Here's our standard risk box. Failed immediately. I stopped and reversed. The short failed for half an hour, so that's about net -1 for those two trades. Caught a 2 short, so this one felt like a low, or I mean a lower high. The PSAR had flipped. It's decaying. It had all of this time to go, and it didn't. And now it's given me like a collapsing dragon. So just put the standard risk on it. Play to the short side. Checker hold. Gain 2R. SSC. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah. So there's the stop and sort of a delayed reverse at the SSC with the standard risk on it. When it makes a new high of the day in the 2R battle drill, second position, standard exit, that one earned 4.5R. Kata 2 reentry, scratch. Kata 2 reentry, scratch. Net 5.5 for the day. This is in Cliff Natural Resources. Stand by. I thought I had that. I just opened that report. I wonder why that's not showing now. Stand by. All right, here's Brian on the Kiwi. All right, so he plays the breakdown here, stops in reverse, neutralizes that, gets back to scratch, tries another quick short exit. There was an available Z3 breakout here, but let's see, minus 0.97 for the day. Cost of doing business. No, I mean in the early days, that's what the start of the day looks like, and you're hitting it as it's coming out of the Red River. It's supposed to fail here. When it doesn't, you cut it quick. Um, Maybe that could have been a bar earlier, but that's just the cost of doing business. And if this didn't fail, there's reason to believe that could work. Um, and this entry right here, yeah, if you get here, then you're not going to lose money on that trade. That could make a difference. And then it just took a while for this to start working. The Kata 2 started to work later in the day. It was just in that hour-long segment, it just didn't work. That's one of the disadvantages of trading Forex in such a narrow window. Hamad with Apple. What I'm pleased to see is on the 30-minute chart, here's the move of the day, and that's the one he gets here. Even though this gets him out, he re-enters here and he collects that one. I think you might have been able to, at the Z3 line, add a second position and really crush this one today. In the chop, maybe don't need those. Amazon, we should be able to get more out of this. So here's an OR3 and short. I think you got to stop and reverse, or you at least got to get out here instead of here. This is supposed to fail right away, and so we could reduce some of that. And then your entry here to there is fine. This is I think you might have wanted to wait for a collapsing dragon here. But this is a good reversal, and you got the fat part of the curve. This is starting to trade in the chop here. And it netted to zero, so it didn't really affect your curve that much. I just think there was either here or here there was a second position available. Too much chop. After this, remember the energy sector tends to move quick if it's going to move. And so by this time, if it hasn't done anything, I don't know that you want to play that. Although, to be honest, you got 0.8 out of that. So that's actually not too bad. This chop offset that, though. So it just was non-directional. Normally when I see energy moving, it starts early and is more substantive than that. Nice work on Tesla. You got on the right side of the angels. I think there's more room of that going ahead. Yeah, George says, maybe tongue-in-cheek, I guess I should stop and reverse. Yeah, I'm going to say, like, from the open, here's your OR3. There's your short position. Cover. Re-enter short. Cover. And that's about 6R. And then here's your SSC. Second position. Third position. Exit. That's about 9R from yesterday. Then today, as soon as this breaks, it closed here and then gapped up to here. As soon as it clears above that, you could be long there on a Kata 2 and a breaking out of the emerging dragon. And then you get that trade, and then you exit here, and then you short here, and you collect that one. I think what you're showing, when you show that as a -1R, I think what you actually did was get long here and then exited there. So this, if you're going to be long on the breakout, here's where the breakout occurred. So be ready for that. And then when you get that much in hand, don't let it escape. And we'll take a look at the. This is Alcoa. Here's your OR3. No, that was where it closed. Here's the OR3. There's your long. There's your exit. There's your entry. There's your exit. There's your re-entry. And all of that. This was worth about probably 4R. All right, there, finally opened up. All right, shifting back to the daily report. We'll just hit the highlights. We're seeing some recovery here on the second leg down, a local bottom being put in around 420. That's good. Looking at the 30-day look back, that's a 1-2, so anything north of the 430 is a 1-2-3 entry. So I'll be ready to pile on that one. That's your buy on dip opportunity. The RL10 is making that turn at -2 sigma, so that's significant. The concern is that the 30 period regression line in the 90s, the slopes are negative. So we got to be mindful that this is still very tentative. A reasonable move back to the top of the dragon. For this to be significant, it has to get above this, which is up around 460. So we have tactical trading inside here. But really what you need to know is if that starts collapsing, it's coming all the way back to here. So this is dangerous times. May you live in interesting times. All right, that's everything I want to cover for tonight. We'll get this published and posted. And so weakness in utilities and gold today, and in Boeing, IBM, and Procter and Gamble. But there's plenty. It's a buyer's market for good trade frames on the long side, with lots of 5DDs still available and very favorable long side swings. But again, based on volatility, we want to be prepared for that volatility shock to the downside. This can get ugly in a hurry. So this 30-day weakness has gotten slightly better here. We moved from sideways normal up to bullish volatile, so it's a crapshoot for tomorrow and Friday. So we'll be ready. Or tomorrow being Friday, we're going to be ready for tactical fireworks tomorrow. All right. The hour preceding this one was an overview of the foundations course for the new cohort. It has a lot of very good information. I'm going to make that available to the wider community because there were some goodies in there about adult learning and story science and whatnot. So look for that one as a special. All right, that's everything for tonight. Take good care. We'll see you tomorrow.